Okay, here we are. This is the Fife Property Update weekly for the December the 31st to yesterday, the 6th of January. This is right across the whole market against all the estate agents. It shows you exactly where they stand in terms of listings coming to the Fife Property market, in terms of supply and demand. You'd be surprised. I tell you what, you wait till you see December. It'll defies all the odds of what the media is saying, and wait till you see the results for the whole year, because I've got the whole year by region as well, from January to December last year, and in each region what was listed in total numbers versus what was actually sold in total numbers as well. And I tell you what, it just defies all logic in comparison to what the media says. Okay, so let's look at the property market overall, and we'll quickly just do some things here. Here we go. Perfect. Okay, let me get my screen up so I can share this with you and share the numbers. This this is what happened last week. So this is what happened last week. 39 properties came to market and 22 sold, and you go, well, that's not a lot. It isn't a lot at all. Nothing really much had happened last week, but we sold a few properties, and I'll tell you about them in a minute. And we've got another few properties coming on as well, and I'll tell you about them in a minute as well. But I think the lesson that you'll learn out of this is you've still got to be quick, I would say, if you're in a position to proceed. Um, Incidentally, last week, in these numbers, actually 26 properties actually came onto market from new builds. So in other words, the new builders actually put 26 properties on. It is actually taken out of these numbers purely for the fact that it skews it, because it's not reflective in the sold numbers, so it keeps like for like as well. So there is new build properties coming at the market through the week, through the month, and also over the yearly period as well. And I'll tell you about them, because it's actually quite positive that we're getting new build properties built in Fife overall, because there is a lack of supply, definitely, I would say, and the demand is still there. And I'll talk about that. And I'll talk about the average time to sell as well. So just hold on. Okay, so here's the month of December. Defies all odds, doesn't it? 260 properties sold, 247 properties came to market. So if you were thinking about waiting until this year to sell, you maybe should have gone in December, because December was probably the best time, because only 247 properties came on, 260 properties sold, 105%. Demand outstripping supply again. December is definitely the month that you're going to go for it. Don't forget about your blooms, forget about everything else. People are still buying out there, and this demonstrates it straight away. Now, this is typically half of what gets sold every single month on average in the year. So you can see that. But the demand is always still there, remember, because people are still accessible on their mobiles. They've still got access. They don't need to walk into an office. They don't need to inquire with anybody. They can see everything right at their fingertips on their mobile phones now. So that's why this market, the demand is always still there. The supply is not there at seasonal times of year, because of this old-fashioned mentality about the fact that it goes quiet at certain times of year. Well, it doesn't. Even when somebody's on holiday in the middle of nowhere, they can still get access to your listing on their mobile phone, and they can still inquire with us as well as agents from anywhere in the world. I have proved it beyond a shadow of a doubt when I've been on Everest, when I've been on top of Kilimanjaro, when I've been on Tukbal as well, and when I've been lying on the beach in Spain. Everything is accessible. All information is accessible from mobile phones. There is data access all around the world. It does not stop buyers from looking. So every single time of year is now the best time of year to sell, clearly. But I think winter now is the best time, because what will happen is the mentality of most people and most agents is we'll put everything on in springtime where all the blooms are out. So what's going to happen if you wait till springtime, you're going to hit the market at the same time as everyone else. So there's a huge amount of supply. Therefore, buyers just don't need to pick your house, do they? Because they've got plenty to choose from. That's why you want to put it on when it's lack of supply, definitely. When there's less properties coming to the market, that's when you want to put your house on. And winter is probably the best period to do that. So if you're looking to sell, get in touch with us about it. And if you've got anybody else looking to sell, tell them about this. Winter is the best season to sell for that reason, because the lack of supply. Okay, and I'll talk about lack of supply in a minute, actually. Okay, let's pop back to these numbers again. So there it is in December. Proved beyond a shadow of a doubt, December is really a buoyant time of year to sell. Overall, demand outstripping supply again. But watch the year. This is the whole year coming up. Look at that. 5,841 properties came onto market. Split down into Cooper, East Neuk, St Andrews, Leavenmouth, Dunfermline, Glenrothes, Kirkcaldy. 5,059 sold, 87%. The benchmark for a good buoyant market is 81% and above. 87, 89 in Cooper, 84 in East Neuk, 82 in St Andrews, 86 in Leavenmouth, 90 in Dunfermline, Glenrothes 89, Kirkcaldy 80. It is a buoyant market in every single region across Fife. The challenge overall, now just let me explain for people who don't understand that, 81%. Well, why would 81% be a good benchmark? Because 19% represents people, usually typically deceased estate, or typically as well, the people are actually moving out the area. So they're selling, but they don't go on to buy. That's the 19% it represents. Therefore, 81% and above is really, really buoyant. 81% is a great buoyant market as well. The difficulty here and the challenge we have is affordability levels right now at the higher end of the market. Now, on average, there's 421 properties actually getting sold every single year. When you look at that number, 5059 divided by 12 is 421 properties. Now, according to Zoopla right now, there's 951 properties on the market available for sale throughout Fife. That represents 2.25 months worth of stock. And that means it takes on average 67.5 days to sell. Not 67.5 days to get into your next house. It's 67.5 days to get an offer on your property on average. Now, I'll talk about some that have actually, one of them's just gone from social media there than out, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But some will go quicker, some will go slower. Blackside Farmhouse, it took a year to sell, but it sold for about 700,000. So there is people out there. Carn Place in St Andrews, a couple of weeks ago, it took 3 or 4 weeks to sell, but that was on at 550,000. So the right types of properties at the right value appeal to the right people, and they will still sell. But there's no doubt about it, because affordability levels and the fact that people can get less, they can get less of a mortgage now with the same amount of money they could last year, because interest rates have gone up as a result. So therefore, affordability levels have made it difficult for people to get bigger mortgages to afford higher priced properties. So there is a point, a tipping point, where it gets up to about 200 to 250,000, possibly pushing it to 300,000, and then the audience starts to decline because of affordability levels. But you can get a really good house for 300,000, definitely. You need 250,000. You can get some really good houses in Glenrothes, for example, for 150,000, 3-bedroom, semi-detached houses in some of the ex-local authorities. I mean, they're good value for money, definitely. So the key here is it's affordability levels that are stopping it. Now, there's talk about interest rates going down soon. Base rates will be going down. The swap rates are really good. The banks are really good. They've actually started to reduce. You can see Halifax, Nationwide, and all the rest of it start to reduce their mortgages. They're not at record-breaking levels in terms of mortgage reductions, but they are a lot more significant than expected. There's talk, though, inflation's now going to be under control. Inflation should be expected to drop, as well as base rates probably could be on the horizon in the next 6 months to drop as well. Now, if base rates get to a level of 4.5% and below, that's when the higher value properties will actually begin to sell extremely well. So if you've got a higher value property, hang on in there. The buyer will appear at some point in time in the future. It's a waiting game. That's all it is down to. I was actually in Spain recently, and someone upstairs is selling the house. They wanted me to do a personal property tour because they want to advertise it to Britain and the UK market on Rightmove through one of their agents in Spain. And I was talking about them, and I talked to them about, what is the average time to sell in Spain? And she said 2 years. Yep, 2 years. And we think 2 months is a long time. It's 2 years for Spain. So it just puts things in a bit of perspective about how long people wait to sell their house and what the expectations are. So it's a waiting game for some people, and for other people, it can just happen overnight. And let's talk about that just now. So that's what it is. The statistics are there's 951 properties according to Zoopla. If you go into Zoopla, type in Fife for sale, hit the button, you will see 951 properties up for sale right across Fife at this point in time. The great thing is every single month for the last 3 or 4 months, that's been almost the same figure. So the 550 at the start of the year, it's gone up and more supplies come on all the time, every single time, mounting that amount up and all the time, therefore reducing the amount of reducing the amount of buyers per property as a result, because all these properties are flooding at the market. But now it's leveled off and it's equalized now. So it's now a steady flow of the same amount of properties coming on as the same amount of demand. Therefore, supply and demand are almost equal. If not, demand's just a wee bit more just now for the right types of properties. And depending on what quartile you're in, if you're in the lower quartile, which is the 25% of lower price properties, it'll sell well. If you're in the middle quartile or middle half, which is the 50% of that market, yeah, okay, it'll sell reasonably well in a reasonable amount of time. But if you're in the upper 25% quartile, which is the most expensive houses in Fife, it will take a wee bit longer than usual. But that's okay. I've just talked about Carn Place. I've just talked about Blackside. It is a waiting game overall. But it represents and it shows us that the Fife market is still extremely buoyant overall in terms of housing. In terms of sales, in terms of transactional numbers, it still tells us it's very, very good. Okay, where do we go from here? Let's talk about what's sold, what's coming to market as well, and that kind of gives you an idea about where we are at this point in time. Okay, for us personally, what's been sold, let's give a quick look this week. So last week, this one's away. This is Burnside and Auchtermuchty. This actually took 3 months to sell, but it was on at 325,000. And it was offers over, a 5-bedroom detached house. So this sold in 3 months and it is away. So a wee bit more than the average. But as I said, when you get to that price point, it's a wee bit more challenging in terms of the market, but it's away. Sold in 3 months, 325,000. The next one, Fordell Road in Glenrothes. This was, again, 3 months. 3-bedroom terraced house. Listed offers are 100,000. And it just shows you. So even though it's at 100,000, it still takes 3 months to sell. So what does this tell us overall? Get your house in order first. Excuse the pun. I'm here all week, try the fish. Get your house in order first. Get the right information from the right estate agent before you actually start the journey, so you understand where you are and you understand what you need to do and you have time to think about it, rather than actually leaving it all to the last minute and then run about like a headless chicken. Because that goes from important but not urgent to important but urgent. And that is called crisis management. And that causes a lot of stress. This is why it's important to be important to you, but not to be that urgent just now for your house sale. That's the point that you should be getting advice from an estate agent, because that then doesn't become stressful. It's when you have to do it and then you're left with no choice but to just jump through hoops to do it as quick as you can, because you're forced by your circumstances rather than pulled by your dreams. Okay, let's get back to what's been sold. Okay, this is one it proves and defies the logic as well, and still going out there. This is sold from social media. We sold this from social media before it got any website, Orchard House and Leaving, and it sold on a pre-portal on our social media channels. Again, as I said before, please make sure you follow our social media channels. Hit that follow button. You don't need to like our channels, just follow them, because they appear on social media first before they appear anywhere else about 5 or 6 days before. And there's people out there, if you wanted this, you lost out on it because you didn't follow our channels. And if anybody else was looking for it, they're too late. It is gone. By the time it gets to the websites, to Rightmove, Prime Location, and Zoopla, it is sold for an offer the seller can't refuse, and the person is in a position to proceed. That's what happens. So that's away as well. This one was a 2-bedroom upper apartment here, and it was listed on offers over £165,000. This is it right here, actually. Right here. It was a cracker, a wee balcony as well. You can look right across the woodland, right across, and you can just see the Firth of Forth. And on the day when the fireworks are going in Edinburgh and stuff like that, you can see them in the background over the water. It's a cracking area and fantastic grounds as well. I'm trying to sell it to you, but unfortunately, you're too late. It's sold from social media. So let's talk about Some of the things that we've done. Coming soon. No, let's talk about coming soon. What's going to be coming soon? So watch out for these ones. Now, this is an advantage before you get to social media to contact us now about these properties because they're not even on social media yet, but we have signed them up. So they are coming to market. And if this is one you're interested in, you need to contact us about it now. You can message us direct, you can call us in any numbers, you can email us in as well. But these are the ones. So take a note of the street and take a note of the area and take a note of what type it is, and then contact us about that one and say it's for example, it's Greengates Leaving, it's a 2-bedroom semi-detached house. That's the ones you want to go for. Okay, that's the sort of thing. So just message us in about that. Okay, let's talk about St Ives Crescent in Anstruther. 4-bedroom ground floor apartment will be coming on soon. Greengates and Leaving, just mentioned it. 2-bedroom semi-detached house. This will be extremely popular. You've got to be quick if you're wanting this house. Cooper Road in Largo Ward, a 2-bedroom semi-detached cottage is coming on. The Cribs in St Monans. It's a fantastic area, the Cribs. It is pretty exclusive. It is a nice area, and it's right just at the bottom of the street. It's the Fife Coastal Path, it's the harbour, and it's everything on your doorstep. 3 miles away from Ely as well. So the Cribs, St Monans, 4-bedroom end terrace house coming on. Knox Gardens in Cooper, a 1-bedroom end terrace bungalow. Hen's teeth. Bungalows. If you're looking for a bungalow, a 1-bedroom Cooper area, this has got to be the one for you. Do not wait for it to come on social media. Do not wait for it to go on a website. Contact us now if you're in a position to do something or you're wanting to get your house in order. Again, excuse the pun. Lemon Terrace and Leaving, 3-bedroom semi-detached cottage will be hitting the market as well. Lemon Terrace, Leaving, 3-bedroom semi-detached cottage, and Westerdron Cottage in Daresey, just outside Daresey. That's Westerdron Cottage, which is just down the road from St Andrews as well. A 3-bedroom semi-detached cottage as well. These are absolutely beautiful. Now, I remember Westerdron. It's a nice, I think it was a Steadings before, or a barn or something like that, and the whole thing has been converted. You've got your own parking area. You're out in the countryside, but you're next to all the amenities and easy access to everything as well. I think it's near Clayton Caravan Park as well. So you've got the leisure facilities at the bottom on the road itself to get access to. So these are the ones coming to market soon, but don't wait if you're interested in them. Go for it right now. Let me just finish off by saying I've just clearly demonstrated there now that whatever the media has just said to you has been a lot of hogwash. The market in Fife has been extremely buoyant, and I've just demonstrated that for the whole year overall, if you look at these numbers. House prices are holding up as well. Transactional numbers are holding up as well. House sales are holding up as well. There is nothing to stop you. And this will continue to go into next year as they predict interest rates and base rates are about to drop as well, which will make it even more buoyant. This means if you're a buyer out there, you need to get buying now. Do not wait. Don't gamble. It's just taking a gamble. Think about all the people that waited last year and thought, oh, I'm going to wait on the market dropping because I've been told the market's going to drop significantly. I've been told we're going to have a recession. And I clearly said at that point in time, there's no indicators in the UK economy to tell us that information and to indicate that at all. And the same thing is on the horizon right now. It is going to be an extremely buoyant market in the next year. House prices, I think, will go up about between 1% and 3% next year. So a reasonable amount. But I've just said, I think they'll go up in Fife as a result of that. And transactional numbers will stay there again. Are you going to lose out? Well, don't be the person that loses out. Get on the housing ladder now and get your house in order. Okay, let's finalise by talking about a couple of shows we did this week. Rental Reboot. If you're a landlord, you're looking for top tips on how to start 2024, top 10 New Year's resolutions that you should be looking for, it is on this post in this link. Click on the link, it will show you the show. You've got a podcast, you've got a show like this you can watch, and you've also got an article you read. It can take 4 minutes to read, and it'll tell you the 10 top things as a landlord or a potential investor you should be looking for. I did another podcast during the week and show during the week. A new year 2024, maybe a new Fife home. Tune into that one as well. Tomorrow, Richard and I are going to be, if you're wanting to develop wealth again in 2024 and you're wanting to build your wealth, no matter what level you're at just now, if you're stony broke right now, you should probably be watching this show tomorrow at 12:30, or you should be catching up on it. We have 104 episodes of the Wealth Creation Show on our YouTube channel that you could tune into. And it's a masterclass from beginning to end. 104 shows. That's 104 hours of extremely good content based on my own personal experience of how to build wealth over the last 30 years. It got me to complete financial freedom. And Necker Island, and meeting Richard Branson as well last month. Okay, so that's the Wealth Creation Show tomorrow. Richard and I are going to be talking about what we call sharpen the saw. I mean, it's a concept that emphasizes really the importance of self-care, personal growth, and continuous improvement. If you're stuck where you are right now, tune into that show. You never know, 2024 could be your year. Don't watch it happen. Don't wonder what the heck happened. Just go out there and make it happen. Until next week, I'll see you later. Bye-bye for now.